Dear viewers, Namaskar. Welcome to this edition of News Bulletin. In the headlines today, enterprising endeavors of RMHP Collective of SAIL RSP help in successful handling of NBO-BR rates for first time. Employees of Communication Engineering Department receive Long Service Award. Security and surveillance systems of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant gets a boost with use of drone. More than 200 villagers benefit from the multidisciplinary health camp organized by Rourkela Steel Plant in Nuagaon block.
SAIL declares Q3 results for financial year 2022-23, posts net profit of Rs 463.54 crore. 569 executives in junior management level covered under Inspirational Safety Leadership Workshop under Nishchay Safety Initiative of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant.
Adapt and innovate to keep pace with the challenges, advises Mr. Nagendranath Sinha, Secretary, Ministry of Steel, to young executives of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant. Long Service Award Function cum HOD Communication Meeting held at RNC Lab.
Perseverance and resilience are in the DNA of Rourkela Steel Plant Collective, says Mr. N.N. Sinha, Secretary, Minister of Steel. Vendor Development Program cum Exhibition jointly organized by MSME DFO, Ministry of MSME, Government of India and SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant.
Performance Enhancement Workshop held for Roll Shop and associated departments of SAIL RSP. 750 study kits distributed by Bursua Iron Mines of SAIL RSP to students of peripheral schools.
Renovated laboratory of RCL department at Steel Melting Shop 2 of SAIL RSP inaugurated. Critical orthopedic surgery conducted at Ispat General Hospital of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant.
Coming to the news in details, the enterprising endeavors of Raw Material Handling Plant Collective of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant has helped in successful unloading of unconventional NBO-BR rakes for first time on 7th February. It is worth mentioning here that limestone SMS grade is a critical item for steel making and the plant requires around 3,000 tons of this raw material per day. Limestone is being procured from Messrs. RSML, a Government of Rajasthan undertaking, and also imported through ports in the ratio 70:30 respectively. Recently, loading from RSML stopped due to some internal issues, and hence to sustain the present trend of production, limestone had to be brought from the port sources. NBOX wagons with tippling facility are being used for transportation of limestones. However, because of unavailability of sufficient number of N-box rakes at the ports, the railways offered the NBO-BR rakes for transportation of limestone from ports to RSP site. These wagons are not meant for tippling. To make the process of unloading feasible, the RMHP Collective used track hoppers route by installing air pressure line beside the hopper too. The system worked and the unloading was successful. Now, loading in the BOBRN has become a regular affair and the requirements of limestone SMS grade is being catered. 6 employees of Communication Engineering Department of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant were presented with Long Service Award in a function organized in the department on 9th February. Ms. Sumita Bhattacharya, GM in charge CED, presided over the function and handed over the awards for completing 25 years of their services in the department. Present on the occasion were other senior officers and employees of the department. It is worth mentioning here that the Long Service Awards are being presented every year to the employees who complete 25 years of service in the company as a recognition of their committed service. It comprises a certificate of recognition and a stainless steel dinner set as a token gift of appreciation.
To strengthen the security and surveillance at SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant, a drone, remote piloted aircraft, has been handed over to the CISF unit in a function organized at Hirakot Gate of RSP on 10th February 2023. Mr. Debabrata Datta, CGM in charge HSM, handed over the drone to Mr. Shikhar Sahai,
DIG CISF, in the presence of Mr. Sudeep Palchaudhary, CGM I&A, Mr. Ashok Jalwania, Commandant CISF, Mr. M.K. Das, Deputy Commandant CISF, Mr. A.K. Jaina, GM in charge E&A, and other officers of RSP and CISF personnel. The drone is equipped with high-resolution day-night camera having high-end communication and safety features, compliant with UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle. This DGCA compliant and DGCA certified equipped will enhance the aerial surveillance. Earlier, 9 CISF personnel were trained in operation of the drone. A multidisciplinary health camp was organized by Rourkela Steel Plant at Government High School, Loharam in Nuagaon block on 10th February. The camp was conducted by the Corporate Social Responsibility CSR Department in association with the Medical and Health Facilities Services Department of RSP. Doctors who helped in medical examination were Dr. Ashutosh Tripathi, Pediatrics, Dr. Vivek Mahanta, Medicine, Dr. Divya, ONG, Dr. A. Devata, Ophthalmology, and Dr. DJ Tu, Surgery, Mr. B. Jaina, Pharmacist, Mr. Manoj Behra of CPSK Dispensary, Ms. Menaka Burman, Senior Hospital Technician, and Mr. S.K. Das, CSR, Coordinator, assisted the team. On the spot supervision was manned by Mr. T.B. Topo, AGM, Mr. A. N. Pati, Senior Manager, and the other members from Team CSR. Around 225 patients were examined in the camp and provided with free medicines and consultations. Besides, 37 patients were identified for further treatment at Ispat General Hospital under various CSR schemes, namely Project Sunayana for free eye surgery, under Project Shushruti for medical intervention of people with hearing ailments, Project Charak for provision of free surgical interventions, Project Surabhi for treatment of gynecological disorders, and Project Akshay for treatment of TB. It is worth mentioning here that the medical camps are being organized by RSP in peripheral villages, not only reach out to the people living in remote villages, but also extend expensive surgical interventions for free treatment at IGH to the identified people suffering from the grave ailments.
Steel Authority of India Limited SAIL posted its financial performance for the third quarter of the current financial year 2022-23. The company has been steadily increasing the crude steel production in the recent months. It has recorded best ever quarterly crude steel production of 4.708 million ton during Q3 of the current financial year, as against 4.531 MT achieved in the corresponding period of last year. The sales volume in Q3 of the current year also saw an increase of 4.151 million ton over the corresponding period last year, which was 3.840 million ton. The challenging global situation and economic scenario all over the world had its impacts on the steel prices, affecting the margins of the steel makers, bringing down the earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization, EBITDA, to Rs 2197 crores from Rs 3659.41 crores as registered in the corresponding period last year. In the Q3, the profit before tax of the company stands at Rs 634.69 crores, while the profit after tax is Rs 463.54 crores. However, with the government's focus on enhancing capital expenditure in infrastructure sector, the domestic steel consumption is expected to witness an increase in the short to medium term. 569 executives in junior management level have been covered in several batches under a series of workshops held on inspirational safety leadership under Nishchay Safety Initiative of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant RSP between 9th January to 11th February 2023. Experts from Ernst & Young, the consultancy agency, conducted the sessions. The aim of the workshops was to produce accident-free steel by strengthening the safety culture of the organization, where safety would be an integral part of every functional aspect. In order to realize this, the Inspirational Safety Leadership Workshop has been designed to cater to frontline managers, middle-level management, and senior-level management. The sessions emphasized upon certain key points of the safety policy of SAIL RSP. It encouraged each participant to reflect on one's own purpose and belief to understand and manage the safety paradox with regard to the roles, responsibilities, and accountabilities. Various models and theories were addressed like risk management funnel, matter of probability, Swiss cheese model, hierarchy of control inverse pyramid, management commitment theory, safety governance structure to assess self on the basis of inspirational leadership skills. The sessions were supplemented with audio-visual clips, psychological games, exercises, and assessment tools.
Adapt, and innovate to keep pace with the challenges in terms of technology, environment, and pathogens, said Mr. Nagendranath Sinha, Secretary, Ministry of Steel, Government of India, while addressing a group of young executives of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant, in an interaction session organized on 15 February 2023 at Mantan Conference Hall of DIC office. The meeting was attended by about 55 young executives working in different units of the plant. Mr. Atanu Bhaumik, Director in Charge DIC, Mr. S.R. Suryavangsi, ED Works, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, ED PNA, Mr. P.K. Sahu, ED Projects, Mr. Somnath Tripathi, ED MM, Mr. P.K. Rath, CGM in Charge Mines, Mr. Debabrata Datta, CGM in Charge Services, and other senior officers of the plant were also present on the occasion. Speaking further, Mr. Sinha elaborated on the importance of steel in nation building and the challenges ahead for the steel industry. He appreciated the contributions of RSP to nation building in its long and illustrious journey. He emphasized upon customer sensitivity and larger stakeholder engagement as a key to remain competitive in the segment. The Steel Secretary also stressed upon adopting extensive digitalization, developing newer grades of steel, and charting out strategies to remove the obstacles. He expressed happiness over the remarkable range of topics covered by the young executives in the interaction session. At the outset, the DIC gave the opening address in the session. Earlier in the morning, Mr. Sinha visited different units of the plant accompanied by Mr. Atanu Bhaumik and Mr. S.R. Suryavangsi. The visit started from the model room at HRD Center, where he was briefly explained about the detailed layout of the plant. A safety film was also shown on the occasion. Thereafter, he visited the Raw Materials Handling Plant RMHP, Safety Park at RMHP, Blast Furnace 5, Sintering Plant 3, Steel Melting Shop 2, and Hot Strip Mill 2. In each of these units, the Secretary Steel was received by the respective Chief General Managers and HODs, who also briefed him about the production process and status. Notably, the Secretary Steel reached Rourkela on 14th night on a one-day visit. He was accorded a warm welcome by the senior officers of RSP at the railway station as well as the Rourkela House. A long service award function cum HOD communication meeting was held at our Research and Control Laboratory Department of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant on 10th February 2023. Mr. Atish Chandra Sarkar, CGM Quality, presided over the meeting and handed over awards to 7 employees who have successfully completed 25 years of their service in the plant. Present on the occasion were other senior officers and employees of the department. In all, 40 employees, including executives, attended the program. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Sarkar commended the award winners for their service rendered towards the company. With reference to the meeting, he urged the RCL collective to address the quality issues both with respect to raw material and the finished products, which ultimately lead to cost saving for the plant. The meeting started with a session on safety by Mr. B. Behra, Assistant Manager Safety Engineering. He explained about hazard and risk involved in industrial environment and ways of mitigating them so as to avoid accidents. This was followed by a session on finance taken by Mr. Ashish Ranjan, GM, RNCL. He apprised the gathering of the Indian steel scenario and the financial performance of RSP and SAIL in the current financial year.
Perseverance and resilience are in the DNA of Rourkela Steel Plant, said Mr. Nagarendra Nath Sinha, Secretary, Ministry of Steel, Government of India, while addressing the senior officers of RSP at the Manthan Conference Hall on 15 February 2023. Mr. Atnu Bhumik, Director in Charge, Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Works, Mr. P.K. Satpathy, ED P&A, Mr. P.K. Sahu, ED Projects, Mr. Sobnath Tripathi, ED-MM, Mr. P.K. Rath, CGM in Charge Mines, Chief General Managers and other senior officers of the plant were present on the occasion. Lauding the role being played by SAIL in the steel ecosystem of the country in the last 5 decades, Mr. Sinha praised the abundance of talented manpower in the organization. He also congratulated the RSP collective for its quest for excellence. Emphasizing on building a greener future for the steel plant, Mr. Sinha also focused on capability building of the periphery populace for the greater cause of the society around. Earlier, Mr. Atnu Bhumik welcomed Mr. Sinha on his maiden visit to RSP after taking over the charge of Secretary, Ministry of Steel. A film on the genesis and growth of RSP as well as its various endeavors were shown at the beginning. This was followed by an elaborate presentation on the performance of the plant in recent times, challenges and future plans by Mr. Sunita Singh, CGM PPC. A film on digitalization at RSP was shown thereafter. Mrs. Rajeshri Banerjee, CGM HRD, coordinated the meeting. Soon after the meeting, Mr. Sinha, along with senior officers of RSP, proceeded to IG Park, where he visited the newly renovated doll museum and planted a sapling. Mr. Nagarendra Nath Sinha left Rourkela on 15th evening. He was accorded a fond farewell at the Rourkela railway station. A 2-day vendor development exhibition jointly organized by MSME DFO, Ministry of MSME, Government of India and SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant commenced at Civic Centre, Sector 19, Rourkela on 16 February 2023. Mr. Somnath Tripathi, ED, MM, RSP, graced the inaugural session as a chief guest. Mr. NPC Behra, GM RIC, Mr. Binod Kumar, SPM, NSIC Rourkela, Dr. S.N. Nayak, Assistant Director, MSME DFO Cuttack, and Mr. P.K. Gupta, Joint Director and HOO, MSME DFO Cuttack, Mr. S.K. Pati, Assistant Director Branch, MSME DFO Rourkela, were also present on the dais. The chief guest and the other dignitaries lighted the ceremonial lamp to mark the inauguration of the program. The 2-day program is being attended by RSP for MSME, various PSUs and government units. In his inaugural address, Mr. Tripathi highly applauded the efforts of the organizations for holding such a program which will be beneficial for all the stakeholders. He further stated that MSMEs plays a vital role in the economic development of the country. He reiterated the commitment of SAIL to continue to extend all the possible support to MSMEs. The EDMM also elaborated upon steps taken by RSP to strengthen the relationship with the sector and the record procurement of RSP from Government E-Marketplace GEM portal on the last financial year. The other dignitaries lauded the initiative and spoke on the importance of providing such common platform which will help build a strong bonding between the MSMEs and different entities. The dignitaries went around the stalls put up by different agencies in the industrial exhibition at the venue and interacted with the entrepreneurs. At the outset, Dr. S.N. Nayak welcomed the gathering. Mr. P.K. Gupta gave a brief description of the program. Mr. S.K. Pati proposed a formal vote of thanks. In the technical sessions of the program, representatives of different PSUs and government officials will make presentations with regard to business opportunities and different support schemes. It is noteworthy that the prime objective of this program is to facilitate interaction between the central public sector undertakings, private industries, government departments, promotional agencies and MSEs by bringing them together as buyers and sellers on a common platform for forging business tie-ups for mutual benefits, to understand each other's capabilities, capacities and technical competency level by way of displaying products and interaction.
A performance enhancement plan workshop was held at HRD Center of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant RSP on 16 February. Mr. S.R. Suryavanshi, ED Works, presided over the inaugural function of the workshop. Present on the occasion were the Chief General Managers of all associated departments and other senior officers of the plant. In all, 41 employees including executives from roll shop, plate mill, new plate mill, hot strip mill 1 and 2, cold rolling mill, silicon steel mill and research and control laboratory took part in the workshop. The objective of the workshop was to reduce roll consumption in rolling mills. Presentations on the working of roll shop, the roll consumption and its financial impact and major issues and challenges were done by Mr. M.R. Maharana, DGM Roll Shop and Mr. T. Tripathi, Senior Manager Roll Shop. A session on cast roll manufacturing process was taken by Bharat Rolls India Limited, Kolkata on a virtual mode. This was followed by syndicate discussions and action plan presentations. The concluding function was presided by Mr. Etwa Oran, CGM, Plate Mill and Mr. Kartike Behra, CGM, CRM, SSM, PP, who reviewed the action plan. At the outset, Mr. K.K. Pandey, GM in charge Roll Shop, delivered the welcome address and gave a brief outline of the program. The program was coordinated by Mr. M.R. Maharana and Ms. Annapurna Behra, Senior Manager, HRD. As a part of its CSR initiatives, Barsua Iron Mines of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant RSP distributed 750 study aid kits in 7 peripheral schools of the mines. Mr. Tilak Patnaik, GM in charge Barsua Iron Mines, Taldi Iron Mines, presided over the functions held in different schools and handed over the kits along with other senior officers of the mines, namely Mr. J.P. Mishra, DGM, P&A, DIM and Mr. Bansidhar Datta, AGM Civil, CSR. Present on the occasion were other official and respective school staff. The kit comprising school bags with copies, ruler, pencil box, pouches, pen, pencil, sharpener, eraser were distributed in Government UP School, Tantra, Government UP School, Bahamba, Government Primary School, Bahamba, Basti, Government Primary School, Barsua, Government UP School, Sasya Kela, Government UP School, Taldihi and Government Primary School, Sirki Tola. The function was coordinated by Mr. Amir Raut, Assistant Manager, CSR.
The renovated Laboratory of Research and Control Laboratory, located at Steel Melting Shop 2 of SAIL, Rourkela Steel Plant RSP, was inaugurated on 17th February by Mr. Atish Chandra Sarkar, CGM Quality. Present on the occasion were other senior officers and employees of the department. It is worth mentioning here that the lab working in the SMS2 was set up in the year 1996. To cope up with the present increased production trend of SMS2, many new features were required to be added to the lab apart from repair, overhauling and painting of the existing equipments. Hence, a complete makeover of SMS2 laboratory was planned. Major renovation, repair and overhauling jobs were carried out by the RNC Lab Collective that included relocation of macro etching laboratory to the front side of the laboratory, developing of process control room, creating document room for keeping old archived documents, erection of room partitions, whitewashing and painting. To take care of requirement of data keeping and slab inspection, a process control room was developed. A mini workshop has been developed where all the tools and tackles have been kept. Small maintenance jobs can be carried out in this room. Sampling section, OES room, XRF room and SMS2 corridor were illuminated with better lighting facilities. Old equipments were written off, others were repaired, overhauled, replaced and painted, and nomenclature inscribed. A terrace garden was developed as a part of the Green Initiative. Walls of the terrace garden were painted. Few of the plants are potted in the old bottles and decorated in different rooms as part of the Green Initiative. A mini fountain was fabricated in-house and fixed in the middle of the terrace garden. A RCL shaped monument was made with the help of old macro etching samples and SMS2 samples and installed. The improve in the overall working ambience will go a long way in boosting the morale of the employees of R&C lab apart from improving their performance. The program was coordinated by Mr. R. Kiran, GM RCL. A systemic lupus erythematosus SLE surgery has been successfully conducted at Ispat General Hospital of Rourkela Steel Plant RSP on a 50-year-old lady. Mrs. Arati Mundari, wife of Mr. Manata Mundari, SOST Steel Melting Shop 1, was admitted in the orthopedic ward of Ispat General Hospital, IGH, on 25th January 2023 with subtrochanteric fracture of both femur. It is an uncommon case and a MRI was conducted. The finding showed systemic lupus erythematosus SLE and was confirmed by clinical examination. This called for a surgery. On 2nd February 2023, Dr. L.K. Biswal, CMO MNHS, along with Dr. Daulat Saraf, Senior Consultant Orthopedic Surgeon, carried out the surgery. Anesthesia was administered by Dr. B.K. Nayak and team members of the Department of Anesthesiology of IGH. The team comprising Ms. Advanti Mins, Sister in Charge, technicians, CSSD technician and dressers assisted in the surgery. Meticulous pre-operative and post-operative support was provided by surgical ward in charge, senior nursing sister Mrs. Mariana Lakra and team of surgical ward dressers and hospital attendants. A high level of care, critical thinking and logical reasoning was extended by the surgeons. Post-operation, Mrs. Mundari was made to walk with support on 6th day. Now she is undergoing physiotherapy to regain her both thighs motion. She was discharged on 10th February with proper advice for weight bearing and physiotherapy. And that's all for now. Namaskar.
Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.